Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for this total solar eclipse in Leo reading. My name is Keita. If it's your first time joining, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome. I have a brief window to share with y'all what I've been downloading, and I have made some notes, but I left my notebook at home and I'm at work. So today there is a total solar eclipse in Leo. If I'm not mistaken, the South Node is also in Leo. It's a lot going on cosmically. Check your charts, see where you have Leo placements. Also, check to see what's in your ninth house, because this eclipse is going to affect your ninth house. I don't have my probably gonna be affecting your throat chakra. I done got choked up like all out of nowhere. So self-expression, authentic expression, communication may be key themes relative to this total solar eclipse. And eclipses are all about things that have been hidden being revealed. So it could be internal or external revelation that is taking place. So don't be surprised about hearing from people you ain't heard from in a while, or truths that haven't been spoken being expressed. Tapping into new ways of expressing yourself. The ninth house governs depth and expansion, and we talked about expansion in the last episode of Soul Food Sundays that I uploaded, so that's very aligned. If you haven't watched that episode of Soul Food Sundays, go back and watch that, because I said something about expecting expansion, and this total solar eclipse is the energy that's ushering that expansion in. So the conversations, the information, the creative expression that you may be led to is expansive. It's taking you to the next level. It's helping you to stretch and to grow. So there may be things that you're confronted with in a way that you can't deny, whether it's how you feel, signs, synchronicities. Like, this is a time of like owning your shit. Whatever your biggest fear has been, having the courage with this Leo energy, because that's like lion energy, and lions are known for being courageous and represent strength. Having the courage to face your fears. If you have a fear of visibility and being seen, and therefore hide your gifts, your talents, and your truth in some way, that push in the right direction is coming cosmically. I probably am gonna be all over the place trying to get these thoughts out since I don't have my notes. But I'm trying to remember everything as best I can. And right now I'm recalling 2 songs where the lyrics were pertinent to this total solar eclipse energy. Solar energy, that's fire. That's the sun. And the I think with this eclipse, the sun and the moon are aligned, and they're like in the same position for, I think I heard, like 2 minutes or so. It's gonna be visible depending upon where you are on the globe. I want to say I read Europe, so we may not see it in the US, but we'll feel the effects of it on our lives, right? Because as above, so below. But we got, with this fire energy, Kundalini awakenings. Those of you who've already experienced the Kundalini awakening, Kundalini rising, what I'm finding is, because I used to struggle with that, with a Kundalini awakening, like as the Kundalini rises from the base of your root chakra up your spinal column and into your other chakras, those chakras in their full potential start to come online. So each time it's an awakening, or can be considered a kundalini rising. But whatever the case, the ultimate goal is for it to reach your crown chakra, and you can have that deeper, more expansive connection with cosmic energy, with the ancestral realm, other realms, dimensions, and timelines. When it connects with your upper chakras, like your crown chakra, your soul star chakra, and above your Gaia gateway chakra. It's hundreds of chakras. But the two songs were Through the Fire by Shaka Khan and Through the Wire, which is kind of a remake or play on the song. It was sampled by Kanye West. Now, what I got from Through the Fire was that this eclipse is very much a energy of the phoenix rising from the ashes. If you're not familiar with what that means, it's an alchemizing of having gone through being purified by fire, going through some tough shit, burning away some patterns, some behaviors, some beliefs, some connections, relationships, having gone through some experiences that didn't feel good, that in essence turned you into ash. Tower moment after tower moment after tower moment. And alchemizing that experience, taking that ash and rising up, creating from your passion, moving forward and upward, passionately. So this is moving onward and upward. This is forward progression after having gone through some really hard shit, some tough cycles. For some of you, it's been financial, it's been romantic, it's been relative to your health, it's been relative to your religious beliefs, and things of that nature. Like I told y'all, those systems, Babylon is falling, and it's internal and it's external. So internally, a lot of us have experienced different systems that once worked for us or helped us to cope. So they didn't necessarily work and yield the best fruit, but we were able to maintain, we were able to coast through life with these things and these people and these environments and whatnot, but we weren't thriving. We're being pushed to thrive. Amidst everything that's going on as individuals, we are being pushed to thrive and not just survive. So through the fire, being that Phoenix rising energy for many of us, we're coming up out of the ash being very significant in various spiritual practices for clearing and cleansing, because that's exactly what those experiences came to do, and also protect, gaining the wisdom from those experiences and moving forward passionately towards who and what we're passionate about and elevating. With the song Through the Fire by Shaka Khan, it was written in 1984. So this may be significant to those of you born in 1984, or if 1984 in some way had some kind of significance to you, something significant happened during that time, this may be significant or resonate. I gotta read the book 1984 too, because that's a sync that I've been getting as well, and some of the students have been telling me about it when I'm subbing. So yeah, I gotta put that on my list. I got so many books on my reader list. It's unreal. So I need to put that, literally I got a list in my phone of books that I want to read. So 1984 is one, but 1984 breaks down to a 4, which that was the year I was born, so that's why I know that 1984 breaks down to a 4, because 84 is 12, which breaks down to a 3, and then The 19 breaks down to a 10, which gives you 1, 1 and 3 gives you 4. So there's that energy of stability, security, balance that is coming in. And in the song, Shaka Khan says, I look in your eyes and I can see you've loved so dangerously. You're not trusting your heart to anyone. You tell me you're gonna play it smart. We're through before we start, but I believe that we've only just begun. When it's this good, there's no saying no. I want you so, I'm ready to go. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. Where you're being led, oh wow, the words on the board. I'm subbing this robotics class. Lab ready. Explore physical concepts as they relate to mechanical systems. Listen, whatever been going on spiritually, internally, in other realms, telepathically, just saw 11:11. It is grounding. It's time to explore. Like when you do lab work, you know, in a lot of studies, I remember when I was in cosmetology school, we did theory and then we did practical. Practical is when you got out there on that floor, or quote unquote in the lab, and actually put what you learned from the books into practice. It's time to put what you've been learning into practice and explore systems other than what you've been taught, what you've been conditioned to believe, to do shit your own way. Damn, that's dope. I didn't even pay attention to the board like that, but reading where she says, you're ready, it reminded me that I saw the word ready on the board a few minutes ago. But it's something that's going to require taking a risk. You're not going to know the totality of the reward, all of the details. You just going to have to trust that where you being led, what you're passionate about, it's the right direction to go in. These motion lights, I swear. Come back out. Okay. That's how it's gonna be with this eclipse. For those of you who are able to physically see it, but for those of you like me in the US who probably won't see it occur, that few minutes where it's a blackout, it's like time standing still. Like nothing else matters outside of whatever that moment of revelation is. It's gonna be like everything goes dark. So let's say if it's a conversation, whatever this conversation is, like nothing else matters. Not what's going on the phone, not what's going on outside the door, unless the conversation is on the phone. But it's like locking in to have that conversation and just black out from the rest of the world to reveal something. And briefly, or excuse me, it just depends on what your situation is, what this revelation is, what's eclipsing into or out of your life. So take it how it resonates. But taking a risk, going through the fire, getting rid of the limits. The Lionsgate was all about tapping into our limitlessness, taking away those walls and ceilings and barriers, and locked doors, or the illusion of walls, ceilings, barriers, and locked doors, to know that we are free to move how we want to move, and to not limit ourselves ultimately, because your abundance is on the other side of whatever it is that you have been limiting yourself to. It says, through the fire, through whatever come what may, for a chance at loving you, I take it all the way. somebody ready to go the distance in whatever this is. And the song is speaking about a relationship, so we could very well be speaking about a relationship, especially the twin flame dynamic, where a lot of twin flames are divine masculines and divine feminines are coming into union externally as they are doing the work to come into union internally. As within, so without. Let's see. This is somebody ready to go through whatever it takes to make something happen and go the distance, right down to the wire, even through the fire. I know you're afraid of what you feel. You still need time to heal, and I can help if you only let me try. You touched me, and something in me knew what I could have with you. No, I'm not ready to kiss that dream goodbye. When it's this sweet, there's no saying no. I need you, so I'm ready to go. Through the fire, to the limits of the wall, for a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. Through the test of time. And then it says through the fire again. So y'all have heard this song. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I gladly risk it all. To the fire, through whatever comes, what may. For a chance to love you, I take it all away. Right now to the wire, even through the fire. So you either about to be going through this with the solar eclipse, just depending on where you are on your timeline, or you've been through this. You've been through the fire and you're ready to rise up, and you like come what may. This type of time I'm on. This is what I want. This is how I want to move forward. I'm pushing the envelope. I'm leveling up, right? But then Kanye made a version, which, I mean, I believe this was damn near everybody's introduction to Kanye, unless you knew him as a producer. But as a rapper, this was his debut single. And I recall being like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, this is so bumping. You know what I'm saying? I know where you from, but where I'm from, we used to say bumping if a song was dope. And then when I heard the story of how he had a car accident and they wired his mouth shut, and he made the song rapping while his mouth was wired shut, I was sold. Then the nigga came through pro black, like, sign me up. So I used to love me some Kanye West, and still love that old Kanye West music. I hadn't even tried to tap in with some of the new stuff ever since, you know, he been having his mental health crisis publicly. Cause I mean, some shit, once you hear it, you can't unhear it, right? So I don't even like put myself through it. But the lyrics to Through the Wire are it's probably a lot to be reading. I'm gonna preface it and then I'll just read the lyrics straight through, I guess. We'll see, we're gonna wing it. But with Through the Wire, that's willing to go through like what it takes, not letting anything limit you, you know what I'm saying, expressing yourself. That's why my throat, I had got like caught up in what I was trying to say and got a little choked up at first, because pushing through whatever barriers, whether it's anxiety, whether it's not knowing the right words to say, timing, like whatever would be an excuse for not expressing your authentic self, be it verbally, artistically, romantically, or otherwise, doing it anyway. This total solar eclipse is bringing forth that energy to help push you in the right direction. But Kanye says, oh, and it was written in 2004. So that breaks down to a 6. So we're talking about balance in relationships, having more aligned, balanced, reciprocal connection. When you think about the sixes, the number 6 numerology, you think about the 6 of Pentacles where there's reciprocity, the 6 of Cups, like that soulmate connection of, and something that feels nostalgic. The 6 of Swords, moving toward calmer waters, toward peace, after having experienced some chaos or some confusion. And then you got the six, who I'm missing? Wands, the six of wands. Oh, that's success. And not only success, but public success. Not trying to hide whatever this is that you're moving toward, but to proudly, publicly be outside with it. You know what I'm saying? Not covet it, but to move forward victoriously and publicly. So let's see. If you're born in 2004, it might be significant to you as well. But it says, Yo G, they can't stop me from rapping, can they? Can they hop? I spit it through the wire, man. It's too much stuff on my heart right now, man. I'll gladly risk it all right now. Got that risk coming up again, and someone having so much on their heart that they got to express it, they got to find an outlet for it. So this is speaking from the heart. It's a life or death situation, man. Y'all don't really understand how I feel right now. It's your boy Kanye to the Chi-Town. What's going on? Yeah. It's something significant about Chicago and Chi-Town that has been reverberating through these readings, and I haven't quite put my finger on it yet. So some of you may live in Chi-Town, you might be relocating to Chicago, and that's what's eclipsing in, or in that area somehow. But it's something about Chicago. And with it being ninth house, affecting the ninth house, I don't know, some of y'all might have a connected flight in Chicago, or Chicago O'Hare says to be one of the busiest, if not the busiest airport in the US. So yeah, take it how it resonates. I drink a boost for breakfast and ensure for dessert. Somebody ordered pancakes, I just sipped the scissor. That right there could drive a sane man berserk. Not to worry, Mr. H to the Izzos, back to work. How do you console my mom or give her light support, telling her son's on life support? And just imagine how my girl feel on the plane, scared as hell that her guy looked like Emmett Till. One thing about the phoenix rising from the ash, and that's like a death and rebirth. And a lot of people around you, especially your parents and your significant other, they can't handle, they kind of go into shock or even resistance with the type of change that's being made within you when you go through this type of a death and research process. And those relationships often do not end up the same on the other side of a phoenix rising from the ashes. Those types of relationships, if they're not supportive to the change that's taking place within you, which is being divinely led, then they often have to exist with strong boundaries or not at all. So take that out as it resonates as well, because you want to align yourself with what's supportive of your rebirth and not constantly trying to drag you back to being the person that you went through fire and brimstone to not be. She was with me before the deal. She been trying to be mine. She a Delta, so she been throwing that dynasty sign. No, use me trying to be lying. Look into the sacred geometry of the Delta sign. I think it's this. So that's a pyramid. So pyramids may be significant, or ancient Egypt, Kemetic spirituality. There may be a connection there for some of you. Somebody might be a Delta, and this is significant as well in terms of being in a sorority. But it's like wanting to stick with and stick by the people who you felt like have stuck by you up to this point, but you don't owe them your goddamn life. They were meant to be assist you in their role during a chapter or a season, but and that's a hard lesson I've had to learn, because if you've ever done right by me, in my mind, I'm loyal to you to the end, right? But I have had to learn that, like, nah, because some of these motherfuckers, their time has expired, and they've done things that require closing that chapter or closing that door, and that don't make me any less grateful for when they showed up for me or when we aligned in some way, because it was seasonal, and now that season has ended, cycle has ended, and I have to move forward. Still grateful for what they did, but I no longer have an allegiance to them, because my allegiance to them somehow looks like me self-abandoning. So that's a key theme as well with this eclipse. No use me trying to be lying. I've been trying to be signed, trying to be a millionaire. How I use 2 lifelines. So this is somebody feeling like they got a new lease on life with this rebirth, having gone through several death and rebirth cycles. You may want to check for where Scorpio is in your chart, because Scorpionic energy is very much that of death and rebirth. So like my moon is in Scorpio, and I have like 4 other Scorpio placements, and that's like the narrative of my life: constant death and rebirths as I level up. In the same hospital where Biggie Smalls died, the doctor said I had blood clots, but I ain't Jamaican man. Story on MTV, and I ain't trying to make a band. I swear this right here, history in the making, man. So this is someone like going through their ascension, their transformation, this alchemy process, and it being public, or more public than they prefer. Let's see. I really apologize for everything right now. If it's unclear at all, man, they got my mouth wired shut for like, I don't know, the doctor said like 6 weeks. So 6 weeks may be significant in terms of timing, but I know that the things that are taking place with this eclipse are unfolding progressively over the next 6 months from the time that I am recording this. And today is August 12th. My readings are timeless. If you catch this reading and the eclipse is gone and it's 6 months from now, but it resonates with you, take it how it resonates, because I can go back and watch readings from years ago that are spot on for where I am now on my journey. So don't let that deter you. But for some of you, that 6 weeks mark is on point in terms of the progression of things. An apology, reconciliation. That may be the eclipse in the communication that's coming through. Whatever it is, it's progressive, it's moving forward, and it's deep. It's not surface level with that 9th house influence. For some of you, the apology may come with an invite, travel in some way, as the 9th house represents travel, philosophy, and higher education. For some of y'all being divinely led to study something different. But whatever it is, it may involve an apology. And if you're being led to study something different, the apology could be forgive yourself. Because sometimes we know what's calling for us to study, to dive deep, to master. And we allow other things to take priority over it. And in that way, we need to forgive ourselves. Because you're human. Doubt and fear, and see how these lights done went off. That's pertinent to somebody. I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Anyway, pay attention to the key themes that are coming up for you during this eclipse. It says, I look in the mirror, half of my jaw was in the back of my mouth. I couldn't believe it, but I'm still here for y'all right now. This is what I gotta say right here, dog. Yeah, turn me up, yeah. So, doing some mirror work, taking some time to reflect. And with that mirror work, checking to see what is life showing you. What is life mirroring to you? What are your relationships mirroring to you? If I align with this person, what does it say about how I feel about myself? Am I settling? Am I accepting the bare minimum? How did I align with this? Where's my toxicity or immaturity or lack of knowledge or ignorance? So doing that mirror work. Also affirming yourself. Mirror work ain't just about shadows, you know what I'm saying? You should look in the mirror and see your light too. I'm fucking better than this. I'm really that nigga. And I can do better than this. I never forget being with a dude. And we was having a breakup conversation. We used to break up on the hour all the goddamn time. This was like in my early 30s, I think. And I remember telling him, like, you know I can do better than you, right? And I used to think back on it years after and be like, that was the point when you were supposed to have left, girl. But that's okay. You give yourself grace, compassion, and you know, just celebrate knowing what you know when you know it, standing on business about it eventually at some point. But at the point where you look at a person and like I did and to stand sure footed and say, you know I can do better than you, right? Your outward uh, situation needs to reflect that. And you need to do whatever the necessary is, right? So there's mirror work. What if somebody from the Shy that was ill got a deal on the hottest rap label around, but he wasn't talking about coke and birds? It was more like spoken word, except he's really putting it down. So this is somebody with creative gifts and talents and dreams and aspirations and goals and thinking of ways to expand and hitting them hitting themselves, not necessarily people with the what if, like what if I really make it, what if I really am successful, what if this really works, you know what I'm saying? I was looking at a meme the other day and it talked about like basically what if you turned your dreams and aspirations and fantasies into prophecies? You know what I'm saying? It's that type of a thing. Some of you have the gift of spoken word. Again, that speaks to expressing yourself, the throat chakra, but also some of you may be very gifted poets in some way or authors in some way. There's something about the use of the word that may be significant. And he explained the story about how blacks came from glory and what we need to do in the game. Good dude, bad night, right place, wrong time. In the blink of an eye, his whole life changed. That's sharing your story. Some of y'all got some testimonies that this eclipse is about to push into the light. You've been holding on to it, or you've been rehearsing it to the same people in the same environments, in the same situation. And there are new people across this globe that need to hear your story. And so you're being pushed to expand and provide avenues are being provided, platforms provided for your story to be shared with new people. For some of you, you haven't been sharing your story and you're being pushed to share it for your testimony, your narrative for the first time. But some of you, this is an expansion of how you share your testimony and show up as a humanitarian. We are moving into the age of Aquarius. We are ushering in the age of Aquarius. That's all about being of service and being innovative and advancing. So that's a thing. And also like being communal, being in unity consciousness. Because here he says, if you could feel how I'm skipping. He says, and he explained the story about how blacks came from glory. So there's a sense of pride about the group or the tribe that you belong to and sharing that as well in community. So some of y'all being pushed out of solitude or out of groups that you've outgrown and for a higher cause. If you could feel how my face felt, you would know how Mace felt. Thank God I ain't too cool for the safe belt. I swear to God, driver 2 wanna sue. I got a lawyer for the case to keep what's in my safe safe. So this may speak to some legalities that you're dealing with or have dealt with. And the thank God I ain't too cool for the safe belt is giving like the dissolution of an ego. Not being too cool to do the thing that makes you feel safe and secure, because ultimately it's what saves your life, what gives you a better quality of life. Things could have been worse. My dogs couldn't tell if I looked like Tom Cruise on Vanilla Sky. It was televised. There's been an accident like Geico. They thought I was burnt up like Pepsi did Michael. I must got an angel, cause look how death missed his ass. Unbreakable. What you thought they called me, Mr. Glass. Look back on my life like the ghost of Christmas past. Towards our us where I used to spend that Christmas cash. Moving into a new chapter. Reflecting on the old chapter and how drastically different things are. And also acknowledging that like some other motherfuckers would have been folded. Some other motherfuckers couldn't have carried the cross that I've been bearing or made it from one chapter to another the way that I have. Like, give yourself credit for how you made it through what you've been through, but also understand that you have been angelically protected, whether you are experiencing those angels as ancestors and spirit guides or angels on this side, on earth, grounded activity that has been angelic, that has been supportive, acknowledging that helped you get from where you've been to where you are, and is going to help you get to where you're going, should you decide to align with it and take whatever this risk is. You've been through the fire, now it's time to go through the wire. And I still won't grow up. I'm a grown-ass kid. Swear I should be locked up for stupid shit that I did. But I'm a champion. So I turn tragedy to triumph. Alchemy. Make music that's fire. Spit my soul through the wire. For some of you have musical gifts. This may be speaking to some of you who have had Peter Pan syndrome, and that's whether male or female, just refusing to grow up and having gone through some tough experiences, divinely being led to mature so that you can move into your generational gifts, and acknowledging that your maturation process has been stunted or delayed, and also diving into why. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have grown up in environments and been in circumstances and situations that have caused us arrested development. That shit is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? When the doctor told me I had I was going to have a plate in my chin, I said, dog, don't you realize I'll never make it on a plane now? It's bad enough. I got all this jewelry on. You can't be serious. This is just being forever changed. Being moving forward, forever changed by the experiences that you had up to this point, but taking the wisdom with you and flying high. And having a sense of humor about it, because in this, he's joking about having the plate in his jaw and not being able to get through security to get on a plane. So having like a sense of humor, moving forward in a more light-hearted way. Y'all, I'm pretty certain that I had more in my notes to add, but if I need to do a part 2 and bring forth the rest of it once I can get to my notes, I will. But until then, this is the message. I hope that you all utilize the energy of this total solar eclipse efficiently. If you have questions, comments, resonated with it in any way, feel free to leave your comments in the description box. If you'd like to book a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. This weekend, I am going to be vending at the Reflection Convention, so you can check out that information on my Instagram page, and because I have the flyer on there. And oh, it's Black August, so I hope you guys are studying Black revolutionaries and Black liberation movements, as this month is the month commemorating those who lost their lives and their quality of life by way of that era. And as you can see, it is making its way back around, so it's so timely to be studying and celebrating those narratives. I am going to be reading Blood in My Eye by George Jackson, as I am wrapping up Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. I'm probably gonna come down here and talk to y'all about both books. But yeah, until next time, y'all. Peace.